Yo, what's going on guys, it is Tom and welcome back to a brand new video, and finally my career mode is back, and this is episode 20, the penultimate race of the season, and this is a big race guys. Now in this race I can clinch the World Drivers' Championship. I've just got to make sure that we outperform Lewis Hamilton, so essentially there's 37 points difference between myself and Lewis. Lewis has to at least outscore me by 12 points this race to have any chance of winning the championship in Abu Dhabi mathematically. Now all we've got to do is just stay close to Hamilton, if not finish ahead of him, and that would guarantee us the World Championship. So it's a pretty simple task this weekend. Try and get the job done. Now, as you can see, in qualifying, so far so good. We get ourselves into Q2, and we're now moving into Q2 itself, where we're going to try and get through into Q3 on a set of medium tyres instead of the soft to try and start on this tyre. And that's exactly what I'll do as I come across the line, and we set a nice comfortable lap time there to get us through in P7. Now, I want to say, the medium tyres and the soft tyres just not working, and just the car as a whole not working great this weekend. There just wasn't a lot of grip out there. The car wasn't feeling particularly great. I was always like a second off the pace, so I've got a lot of work to do in Q3 to try and get a decent lap in and try to get anywhere near inside the top 5. So here we go now in Q3 down the straight for the final time. As you can see, DRS wide open, and we are going to come across the line and put in a decent lap there for P3. Still a couple of tenths off the pace, but crucially we're in P3, and that's exactly where we're going to finish the session, and quite a successful one at that. Even though we're pretty much half a second off the pace, it's not too bad, and it's probably damage limitation at its best, and crucially we qualified ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So right now things are looking good. Obviously I didn't show practice because there's no need to. All I'm doing is just basically banking and putting away resource points for next season's development. So as you can see, we're going to move into the race now, and the task is simple: finish ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Simple as that, or very close to him. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into the race. So if you guys are excited for this, drop a like, because we can become the youngest world champion in Formula 1 history at just 18 years of age. So without further ado, let's jump into the race. Okay, so here we are then, it's race day. Now I can tell you, I'm recording the race actually in over a week after I recorded the qualifying, because I recorded qualifying and practice, and then I basically had to do loads of stuff because I've been very busy lately, hence why there's been a massive delay on career mode. And I've basically just come back to this now, and I've come back with no practice whatsoever, so hopefully I can settle into a rhythm quite nicely in this race. But we're starting from P3 on the grid on the medium tyres, and this is a strategy that we're going to be going for this Grand Prix. No rain expected whatsoever. It's going to be a bit of a mixed conditions race, but it's going to be dry throughout, which is crucial, and we're going to go for a medium, hard, medium. Going to try and risk it by going on the harder tyres, which I don't really like in this Ferrari, and the Ferrari doesn't really like, but we're going to try and give it a fair crack at the whip. And right now it's seeing stand, we're 37 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton with 2 races to go, including this one. So basically, if Lewis Hamilton doesn't get 12 points more than me this race, I've won the World Championship. Simple as that. So right now we're starting ahead of him. If we finish where we are, we've won the championship. So pressure's on. Like I said, I've not done a lot of practice, so I'm very green, and I haven't really done any sort of laps to get a feel for the car. So I'm just going to hopefully try and settle into rhythm in the race, and hopefully we can try and grasp the World Championship. So without further ado, let's jump right into the Brazilian Grand Prix. Here we go then, 36 laps for the Brazilian Grand Prix, 5 red lights, and let's get underway here for the penultimate race of season 1, and it's lights out and away we go as Verstappen gets an absolute stonker. I've actually had a pretty decent start myself on these mediums. Raikkonen's had an absolute storm as well, as has also Lewis Hamilton up my inside. I'm just going to try and hold it here. Can I get up the inside of Hamilton? Just going to take it easy. Going to stay out of any sort of contact. The back end snapping on me on these medium tyres. Hamilton's going to give me a good old squeeze onto the curb, and I've got to back out of that. I'm onto the grass, and now Rosberg also on mediums is trying to make a move. He's actually going to box me in here behind Lewis. I'm just going to have to try and wait for my moment here. Just trying to sit behind these guys. The medium tyres not up to temperature just yet, and I'm also just trying to get a feel for the cars. We try and make a move on Hamilton here, getting held up by his teammate. Can we pull it off up the inside? We're going to leave him the room. He's going to try and hang it around the outside, and he's actually made it stick. I'm going back up the inside through this right-hander here, leaving him the room as always. Rosberg making the move down the mediums. I'm just going to go around the outside, pick up the traction here. Can we make a move on Hamilton? He's going to shut the door a little bit. I'm just going to have to sit behind him for now as we try to settle into a bit of a rhythm this race, which I need to find. Here we go, picking up a slipstream on Lewis Hamilton. We're going to dummy to the right, go to the left. Can we make a move up the inside of the first corner? Nice and late on the brakes, but Lewis has got the measure of us on those soft tyres. I'm going to leave him the room once again through turn 2. And look at the grip he's got on those softs. I'm struggling for traction on these mediums early on here, but now we've got Perez over the back of us here. Can we make a move on Hamilton again? We're going to go to the inside. Perez is going to try and have a sniff. I'm going to get nice and out the brakes, and Perez is just absolutely twatting me off the track, and I'm going to have to try and get back on track here as Perez has gone straight out my rear. And we managed to rejoin. Hamilton's also lost a few positions there, so Perez, I don't know what he was doing, but he's just given me a massive whack in the rear. Luckily, I don't think I've got any damage. Grosjean and Perez going out up ahead. I'm just going to go around the outside. I've actually run a little bit wide. They've understeered off the track. I was going to try and go around the outside of both of them, but just got too much understeer on these medium tyres. However, we are picking up DRS on Perez. Can we go up the inside of Grosjean? He's going to be tight. He's going to just about leave me the room, but I can't really pick up the traction on the exit. And now Perez is actually overtaking me, and Bottas as well getting in on the action here. So it's a hectic start to the Brazilian Grand Prix here. Can we try? Oh, we're going to try and slice back underneath Perez here. Can we make this sick? Lock up the right front. Going to try and hold the inside on the Mexican, trying to go around the outside of the next corner. I should pick up the traction through here. The AI tend to be quite slow, and there we go. We make the move on Sergio. We can now go after Romain Grosjean. Here comes Perez again. I've got DRS wide open off for Grosjean, but Perez is going to go for the move. I'm going to squeeze him on the inside. Can we hang around the outside? Just about getting all over the curb, losing the back end once again. And we've had contact with Perez. Can we catch the back end? Just whack on the brakes. Try and rejoin the track here. Take it nice and easy. Can we just stay ahead of these guys? Oh no, it's all going wrong. It's all going wrong. I need to try and regroup here. I'm all over the place. Let's just try and rejoin the track here. I don't know what happened there. I just went to the curb and the back end just snapped on me. The back end on these mediums, just look how snappy this is. The back end's just really snappy. I wonder if Perez actually did give me some sort of damage up the rear, because the back end of my car is just not working very nice at all. Okay, so I'm right on the back of this train now. They're all on hard tyres in much slower cars than mine, so we need to try and make some moves here. So I'm just going to wait for the straight, and hopefully we can pick up a couple of cars, at least both of the Renaults. That would be pretty nice. So here we go. They're just picking up the traction on the exit here. Grosjean's trying to have a bit of a sniff up the inside there, but he's looking very racy in that Haas car. Here we go. DRS wide open now. Let's try and make a move on some of these Renaults. Looks like Grosjean's going to try and make a move himself, but I'm just going to pull to the inside, make a move on Magnussen, getting very close to Jolyon Palmer. They're leaving the room for Magnussen on the inside. He's going to race me, squeeze me right off the track there. Jesus, Magnussen being very racy there, but we are going to get ahead of him just about. However, I think Grosjean's actually going to try and go for a move here. I'm going to defend the inside a little bit. It's actually going to 3-1 into turn 4 here. Oh, we got contact with Magnussen again. Can we just not catch a break this race? Grosjean gets past us on the fresh set of soft tyres, and I think I'm just going to let Grosjean go because he's just going to be so much quicker than me on those tyres. Here we go, we've got a run on Grosjean and Palmer. I'm going to open up the DRS, go on the outside of both of them. Palmer's going to leave me the room on the outside, and I'm going to walk past the pair of them in a straight line. Can we get it slowed down for turn 1? I'm going to miss my apex a little bit, but we are going to get it slowed down and get ahead of the two of them. And now Grosjean's got past Palmer, but we're crucially up into P13 and getting closer to the point scoring positions once again. Okay, the team want me to pit in this lap, but I'm going to just stretch out this stint. I'm going to try and get to the end of lap 10 and then go into the hard to try and make this two-stop strategy work, because that's the only way I'm getting back into this race. Meanwhile, we've got both of the Mandas and Fernando Alonso ahead of us here, and look at the speed we've got in a straight line. I'm going to go up the inside of Alonso. Can we try and get Haryanto as well? I'm going to stick my nose in. The man are not very good through the corners, but he does actually hold on to P11 for now, because it's a terrible exit through turn 2, and I'm just going to go around the outside of him there and make the move up into P11, and let's try and defend now into turn 4, and we can then go after Pascal Wehrlein, and it looks like we are going to hold on for now as we go into turn 4, so let's try and go after Pascal now. Here we go then, right on the slipstream of Pascal Wehrlein, DRS wide open. There should be a fairly easy move on the German as we go up the inside way before turn 1, and we're just going to make the move into P10. We're actually running quite deep on these old tyres, but we do get the move done nonetheless, and we can now try and go after Verstappen, who's ahead of us, but we're going to have to try and defend from Wehrlein first, who I think will have DRS on us, and here he comes. He's actually going to go to the inside. I'm going to try and go defensive. I'm actually going to brake a little bit earlier to try and switch back on the German through turn 4. Can we pick up the traction on the exit? Yes, we can. Any sort of slipstream maybe into the next corner. I'm going to try and make a move. Can we go up the inside? Oh, no, we can't. We're going to have to sit back for now. Wehrlein going very slow through this section. I want to try and make a move on him as soon as possible, like now. Locking up the right front, but getting the move done there on the brakes. And we're into P10. Right, here we go into the pit lane for our first stop of the race. Going to try and make sure I get it all slowed down for the pit entry. And I just about managed to get that slowed down. That was very, very close, but we just about got it slowed down there. We got, I think Mercedes actually coming in. That might have been Rosberg who's coming for his first stop of the race there. But a nice quick pit stop there, 2.3, not too bad. And we're now going to hopefully try and switch on these hard tyres and go nice and long on these to get us right back into the race. Because if we're going to do anything in this race, we need to get ourselves into the points. And the only way we're going to do that is by having a nice, long and quite rapid stint on these hard tyres. So let's try and get into it. Alright, here we go then, on the back of Marcus Ericsson. He's going very slowly in the Sauber. Going to open up the DRS, pick up as much slipstream as we can. Plenty of cars in the pit lane as I go up the inside of the Swedish driver. A little bit of wall banging there, and we do get the move done up into P16, which would be P15, as we get past Felipe Nazo, who's just exiting the pit lane. And we're now going to try and push on these hard tyres to try and get a couple of decent lap times in and try and get ourselves up the order. Here we are then, right at the back of Magnussen and Danny Kvyat. I'm in rich mix, so we should be able to push quite easily here and get past a pair of them as I go to the outside onto the grass, because there was no room to get through there. I'm going to go around the outside of the pair of them with DRS wide open here, fly past them like a rocket ship in a straight line. We make the move up into P9, and I think Lewis Hamilton's just behind us setting the fastest lap, so Lewis Hamilton's in that little bit of a shuffle behind us, so we can just keep him behind us on track. That'd be great for the championship. Here we are then, right at the back of Julian Palmer. This should be a fairly simple move on the British driver, who must be really struggling on those hard tyres by now. And here we go, around the outside of him, making a nice easy move with some DRS assistance. And there we go, up into P8 now, so recovering quite nicely at the moment, getting ourselves into the point scoring positions. Let's hope that we can try and drag out this hard tyre stint as much as we can to really get ourselves right up the sharp end of the grid. Oh. We got yellow flag. Lewis Hamilton's out of the race, and Lewis Hamilton's had an engine blowout. Hamilton's had an engine blowout. That means I'm the world champion no matter what happens this race. So Lewis Hamilton out of the Brazilian Grand Prix. That's a massive game changer, and that's his season over. And it looks like there's going to be a new world champion for 2016, and it's going to be me. And Lewis Hamilton has actually not been able to defend his crown. So that's a very unfortunate end to the season for him, with two very big retirements in the last 3 races. And I think he'll be absolutely gutted with that one. Similar to real life in the Malaysian Grand Prix, I think he'll be really disappointed. But that's going to make me pretty much the world champion. So what a change of events here for the Brazilian Grand Prix, a track where so many world champions have been decided in the past. And it looks like I'm going to be crowned the 2016 world champion. Right, all the way on to the end of lap 25, and we're coming in for our final stop of the race. Just make sure we get it all slowed down here, and we're going to go onto a set of medium tyres and then just go straight to the end, push as hard as we can, and let's see if we can try and salvage maybe a top 5 out of this race, maybe even a top 4 or even a podium. It all depends on how many pit stops the top 5 have left to do this race. But overall, even though I'm glad I won the world championship, I think that's what's going to happen now. I'm a bit disappointed because it's a bit of an anticlimax how Lewis Hamilton retired twice in the last 3 races to really not set up any sort of major fight. But you know, sometimes it happens. I'm not going to complain. I've won the world championship, and we're now just going to try and bring this car home. And the last race will just be purely an exhibition, but we're going to be joined just ahead of Felipe Massa here, and we can now have a bit of fun on these medium tyres and push until the flag. Here we go then, DRS wide open on Valtteri Bottas. Can we try and snatch P5 in the dying embers of this Grand Prix here at Interlagos? It's not going to be into the Senna S, but maybe we can try and stick on the back of Bottas and get him into turn 4. We can pick up the traction, which we really haven't done there. Bottas getting a great exit there in his Williams, and I think we're actually going to have to sit behind him for a little bit longer because we just don't have the legs on the Finnish driver. Can we try and get him into here? No, we can't. So Bottas is going to hold on to P5 momentarily, but I'm going to keep talking because I feel like into this middle sector we've got the edge on the Williams in terms of just overall downfalls. And as you can see, look how close I'm getting to Bottas here. I'm just going to sit behind him and wait for my moment because I know I can get him straight away. And I think this corner here is going to be the one because the AI tend to be very slow on power input through here. So as you can just see, I'm going to try and go to the outside. Bottas giving me a squeeze. I'm going to switch back on him through here, pick up the traction on the medium tyres which still have a little bit of life left in them, try and go around the outside. I'm onto the marbles though, and I'm all off the track. Bottas holding the inside, almost going to the 50-metre ball there. I'm going to go around the outside of Bottas this time, pick up the traction, and there we go. This time we have to move, but Bottas, I know he's not slow in a straight line. He's going to make the move on us here, so he's going to have DRS. As you can see, we just crossed the DRS board. He's going to try and go to the outside, so I'm going to go defensive, leave him the room, force him to the outside. Just going to try and match him on the brakes, run him out a little bit wide through turn 1, and this time I think we're going to hold on to P5 as we get a great run through there, and he's nowhere near us to make any sort of attack with DRS. Here Here we go up the hill for one last time. It's been an absolutely incredible season. We've still got one more race to go after this, but it is going to be confirmed as I come through the final corner for the final time to win the World Drivers' Championship for the 2016 season of Formula 1. And Ferrari have paid massive amounts of money and invested so much into me to try and win the World Championship for the Maranello team, and it's absolutely paid off. As you can see, the donuts are in full effect through turn 4, celebrating the World Championship, and I believe I'm the youngest World Champion of all time at just 18 years of age. So Ferrari really taking a big time risk by signing me up from Haas and taking me away from the American team as a young driver and making me win the World Championship. So overall, a risk that's really paid off, and a world champion at 18 years old in the 2016 season, and what a season it has been. It's been absolutely incredible, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed the ride, and if that doesn't deserve a like, then I don't know what does. But we're going to see how the things shaped up for the rest of the race here. Obviously Nico Rosberg winning the Grand Prix there, pretty impressive race for him, and he actually started from P6 I believe, so a good result there for Nico Rosberg. And as you can see, looking at the podium now, just to confirm, Rosberg has Daniel Ricciardo and Kimi Räikkönen, our teammate, alongside him for company on the podium there. So overall, an interesting season, and a thoroughly deserved 25 points for Rosberg, but I think a thoroughly deserved World Championship for myself. And like I said, just what a season overall. It's been absolutely incredible, and I can't wait for season 2. I can tell you now, because I switched teams mid-season in Season 1, I believe I'm going to be driving for Ferrari in Season 2. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of resource points saved because I didn't bother doing practice assuming I was going to switch teams. But it turns out that if you switch teams mid-season through the first season of career mode, you can't actually change team for Season 2. So we are going to be in Ferrari for Season 2. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of resource points to upgrade the car, so we might be struggling from the get-go of next season. But nevertheless, let's just try and soak this in. It's been an incredible season here, and hope you guys have enjoyed it. And we're just going to look at the Drivers' World Championship for the final time, or the penultimate time this season, to see how things shaped up. And as you can see, just to confirm, we are 47 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton in the World Drivers' Championship with only one race to go, so we are the world champions, just to double confirm. And as you can see, it's a Mercedes 2-3 with both of the Red Bulls in 4th and 5th, and then Raikkonen and Vettel in 6th and 7th. So overall, a really successful season for myself in my debut season in Formula 1. And looking at the Constructors' Championship, you can see that Mercedes pretty much have it wrapped up with 39 points over Ferrari. So it looks like we're not going to be able to get the double as a Ferrari driver, but nevertheless, we are world champions. An incredible result, and we're now going to move into the final part of the video. So there we have it then. I managed to win the World Drivers' Championship in my first season. If you guys enjoyed that episode, then a massive thumbs up would be appreciated, not just for this race, but also for the entire season and the return of career mode. We've got one more race to do in Abu Dhabi next. I'm going to try and get that out as soon as I can. I want to try and get Season 1 out the door and finished, get a couple of mods on, and begin Season 2 and try and make it as exciting as possible and crank up the editing level for you guys, so hopefully make it a bit more interesting. But nevertheless, like I said, if you enjoyed the video, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. If you're new around here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, guys, for future content. And thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.